Got two major topics to cover in this video. The first is that Chase Bank made a significant shift or change up in its credit card lineup that it's about to launch early this summer. The next is that Vantage may have changed credit scoring in the United States forever with some of the changes and new systems that it's rolling out on how it's going to be scoring credit in the United States. If you care deeply about your personal finances or your business finances, if these topics are relevant in your life and you're looking to either scale them up or stay on top if you're already there. So I want you to stay focused on this. Before we dive into these two topics, I want to quickly go over who I am and why it's relevant that you're hearing it from me. I have 13 years at the time of this recording in retail banking from the consumer and small business side. Currently, as it stands right now, I run this small business that you're watching right now, but I also work a corporate job as a banker on the small business side, on the private client side, as well as the standard consumer side. I personally manage a book of business of over $22 million in deposits and investments. I take thousands of applications over the course of my career in credit cards, on the personal and business side, business lending application, mortgages, auto loans. I have an active mortgage license. I have a life insurance license, small business certification, SIE and Series 6 FINRA license. All of that can be found in the About section of this channel if you're looking to do your own research. What I'm about to cover, banking and lending and cash flow management, I do on a daily basis for a career path. So I just want to put context on who you're listening to right now when I cover these topics. So we're going to cover the Chase Bank credit card changes that were launched. A good bit of you watching this video may not have credit cards with Chase, or you may have higher level credit cards with Chase, but I want you to stay focused on this. So Chase Bank is going to be giving automatic upgrades to any clients that meet a certain criteria that have had their freedom rise. Anyone who's had that card for a certain period of time, has used it properly and had a certain banking relationship, they're graduating you out of the freedom rise into the freedom unlimited. Basically, from what I can tell, involuntarily. So what's the criteria for this shift? So what I found so far and had a colleague, run over to me was, if you had the freedom rise open and had one purchase on it in the last 12 months, no late payments with Chase Bank or any other lender in the last 12 months, no suspended accounts, and the client is not in a modified payment program with Chase. So essentially, you're not in a situation where you owe some kind of balances with Chase Bank and on some kind of payment plan for it, and no existing Freedom Unlimited account already. So that's the criteria to qualify for this upgrade that I believe, from my understanding, will be rolling out sometime in June. That having been the case, some of the benefits is that you're going to be getting to a better product without having to get a hard inquiry and keeping the established credit history from your rise, upgrading it to a higher quality card that still has no annual fee, better reward structure, and a higher potential for credit limits. That's a couple of the benefits that are going to come with this. The first one we need to talk about is what made the Freedom Rise unique in the first place. The Freedom Rise, as we know it, was not a subprime card, was not a credit card for rebuilders, was not a secured credit card. It was not a card laced with fees, and its underwriting was relatively unique to banks equivalent to Chase Bank. Chase Bank openly pronounced when they rolled out the Freedom Rise that if you have a Chase checking account with $250 in deposit at the time of application and had recently upgraded it to now where they will consider checking and savings with a balance of $250, that will increase your approval odds for this card. It was going to be tailored to individuals who meet the criteria, typically going to be like college students or younger adults. And honestly, follow me now, this was a graduation from the Freedom Student Card. They already had a Freedom Student Card, so if it was about US-based college students and young people, they could have kept the card they had. They revamped this card to reach a broader market. They revamped this card to reach new immigrants to this country. So we now know how this card was unique and who it was for. Let's discuss some of the people who would not have qualified for this card really quickly. Bad credit, bad banking relationship with Chase Bank, bad banking relationship with other banks, charge-offs with other banks, no relationship with Chase Bank, those rebuilding their credit with still active negative items or previously resolved negative items that are still on their credit report, those with well-established credit would not have qualified or been offered this card. Interesting. This card was designed to reach a certain audience, and I already kind of dropped who I think it was targeted for. Tens of millions of immigrants, legal or illegal. So basically a passport, probably some kind of utility bill or bank statement or something else like that that would allow them to verify their existence in the United States and an ITN and a social security number. So those brand new or very early to credit, those who had high to no risk markers, think EWS credit system check systems. If you didn't have any kind of indication that you were high risk or leery behavior on those metrics through those systems, those with new or healthy banking relationship with Chase Bank, this is who this card was for. Chase Freedom Unlimited, people have have credit limits of 30,000 plus on that card. So you can literally just have had the Freedom Rise for a year, used it barely, one purchase in the last year, and get graduated to a card that will allow you to access tens of thousands of dollars in credit. Let's branch in the idea of the major change that Vantage is making now in their new credit scoring, I believe the 4.0. Before I dig into this, I want to quickly give credit to a content creator who basically rolled this out and covered this in very vigorous detail, and which is the A5th Credit Club channel. I'm going to add them so you guys can know who they are, and I want to give that gentleman, I believe his name is Calvin. I've covered this coming out in general for months, maybe even over a year now. I already talked about relationship banking and that being calculated into credit scores coming in the near future. Vantage is going to be rolling out a 4.0 plus, which is going to be a scoring model that will now integrate banking data into your full and complete credit score. So basically what this means is they're going to be rolling out or integrating banking data, your active banking data. You're going to consent for them to have access to your banking data to be able to score you, rescore you along with your existing credit data to give a combined or collaborative credit score that is intended to look at you on a more robust or the more comprehensive basis. So basically what that means is instead of being able to look at just your credit behavior, your cash flow management will now be accounted for in your credit score based on Vantage's particular scoring model. Now, this is being tested. It's not fully rolled out. It's not everywhere. It's going to take time to be implemented. It's going to take time to be adopted, but this is the new future. I also covered in a recent video that the artificial intelligence technology that is now going to be integrating payroll data into credit decisions. All of this is now the future. Chase Bank has a specific clientele that it is determined to stick to and work to, a core audience, a core demographic of people. Chase Bank does not want people with negative financial behavior. They either want established financial behavior or they want people with brand new financial behavior that they can roll through their system and their products to groom and build up into established credit behavior. That is what the Freedom Rise to the Freedom Unlimited is teaching you and showing us right before our eyes. You will no longer have the opportunity to manipulate credit scores, manufacture your credit score. They are going to be able to look and see if you are a legitimate contender for that application. The end. If you are legitimate, this is a gift. If you are legitimate with your consumer and business finances or consumer or business finances, real personal credit, real established business credit, you are going to be in the money because you are going to be weeded out as multitudes more authentic than many other applicants would be. And banks still need to lend money through very tumultuous economic times. Banks still need to lend money at a time where people are delinquent more than ever. Fraud is at an all-time high. And these new integrations into lending decisions are going to expose millions of people. If you are in the good, have a genuine and authentic FICO score, Vantage score, business credit score, cash flow management, banking relationships, legitimate income, legitimate job history, legitimate payroll, legitimate business revenue, you are in luck. This is about to open up an opportunity for you to minimize and almost outright avoid declines on applications at scale. If you are on the other end of the spectrum, you are about to be blacklisted. If you're not the type of client who's brand new to credit, brand new to finances, and you're getting an example of getting upgraded from your Freedom Rise to the Freedom Unlimited, if you're not an established financial consumer or small business owner, then you are about to get pushed out of the financial system at scale. Those who are in position are about to catapult. Those who are in bad position are about to be drowned. You will probably have X amount of months or a couple to a few years before these things are mainstream adopted. But as many of us as adults know, those years fly by. Those months and years fly by. So to pull this all together, shifts and changes to Chase Bank's credit card lineup that I just told you about, shifts and changes that the credit scoring system, the credit bureaus, the credit scoring algorithms and companies are rolling out, because FICO is going to be making their own adjustments. They're not just going to sit down and let Vantage make massive in the market share of lenders and banks that are going to be adopting this new Vantage score system that is going to give better indication of risk, better indication of potential losses, better indications of quality clients that they can now lend at scale to. So I covered more than enough for the comment section to be filled with questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, and optimism. Let me know your thoughts, your questions, your kickback, your optimism, your excitement down below in the comment section on what I just covered in this video. If you are new to this channel, welcome in. If you're a returning pioneer, welcome back. Thank you for your viewership. If you want to learn more about myself and the channel, as I stated, more about me is in the about section of this channel. More will be rolling out for me soon to come. Website, other social social medias, etc. If you're an existing pioneer, thank you for your viewership. I want each of you to stay focused, stay in motion. See y'all soon.